Hi everyone, my name is Mat4yo, and this is the first installment in a mini-series called How to Write Creatively. This is a sub-series of the main series called Chisel This, where we critically analyze lyrics. But today, for the first time, we're actually going to teach you how to start building your own lyrics without looking at any other examples or reviewing any other material. This is strictly coming from me, and if you don't think that I'm qualified or if you don't like the way that I speak, at least you'll know that this is something that you don't want to try. However, I think that most of you will be able to adopt some of my characteristics and learn from them as well. And every episode in this installment will include a special rap song that utilizes what we learned in that episode. This is going to be a very basic lesson. We will get much further in depth as the episodes go on, but today we're going to be focusing on three things: how to differentiate between your message and your package, 2, how to put your message into your package, and 3, some of the laws of meter and rapping. So yes, most of this will be targeted towards a rapping audience, but you can also use it in your creative writing skills, whether it be an essay, paper, radio, TV, you name it. The first thing I want to get out of the way is that limitations do not exist for you. There are no limits in creativity. You might say, but people think that some of what I make is stupid, some people don't like it, I get some negative feedback. Well, here's why. You're not fully manipulating your idea if that happens. It also can be attributed to the fact that you're not so great yet, or that you just don't understand rapping in its essence yet. But we'll get there, but for right now we need to focus on your message and your package first. When coming up with an idea, you want to make sure that you use every single aspect attached to it. And that will be the next episode. But for right now, we're going to focus on what that main idea is and how you get from just saying the idea into actually molding the idea into something greater. That's going to be today's episode. Art is a wonderful medium that allows someone to appreciate something that they make. The ones who only used to be listening to rap and, looking at videos or looking at art are now becoming the creators of such. Whatever we make is at least being indulged in by one person. Whether that one person is you, or there's a million people indulging in it, it's something that you contributed to a genre, and it's yours and you are appreciating it. Now, my job is to kind of show you how to make others appreciate it also, and then that will make you appreciate others' appreciation of that. So basically, this is all open to interpretation. You can rap about literally anything you want. You can write creatively about anything that you want. As long as you make a case for it, there is no wrong thing to create something about. If you utilize the subject that you choose to the best of your ability, then even the ones who don't like it will be able to say, I can appreciate that. So my definition of rap is an art form that applies critical thinking in multitudinous situations, with the added expression of rhyming, rhythm, and theme. Those who put the rhyming and rhythm first may have a better package, but not a better message, and those who put the theme first may have the better message, but lack the delivery or the package. We're going to find out how to put the two together right now. So we're going to start off with the main idea, your subject. I want you all to pick a subject right now. Pick one thing, the first thing that comes to your mind, that you want to make a song or just write a draft about. Alright, now you have your idea. Now we're going to learn how to frame it, okay? So keep your idea in the back of your head. But for right now, I want you to look at these two pictures on screen, okay? I want you to name these items in one word. Foundationally, what are these two items? If you answered cake, you are correct. This object is a cake, and this object is also a cake. So we have two cakes here. We know that they are foundationally the same thing. But in your eyes, which one looks like it tastes better? If you answered the one with frosting and cherries and chocolate, you were probably the majority. So obviously, this cake looks much better than the regular old pound cake. But you need to open your eyes to the possibility of the regular pound cake possibly tasting better than the one that looks like it tastes better. So if you haven't guessed it yet, the regular pound cake refers to someone's message. The bright and beautiful cake represents the package. Now, mainstream rap today, mainstream music, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, as it is heard on the radio today, is predominantly this package that you hear. There is some cake, there is some substance, there is some message to it, but most of it is just the way it sounds. That's okay. It is completely okay. It is completely okay for you to like that kind of music more than you like just a message. Because, you know, you can make the argument that I listen to music because I like the way it sounds. If I want a message, I'll read a poem or I'll read a short story if I want the message. But again, that's all being short-sighted. There is a medium that exists where both of these coexist together, and it is possible to touch into it and make content aesthetically enjoyable and also appreciated in message. Now, some people have this message. They have a beautiful message that they want to portray to someone. They want to let their feelings out, but they may be doing it in a way that is just literally words on paper. And it's okay to express yourself, but again, I'm not being mushy here. The objective of this video is to push you further, and if you don't want that, then this video isn't for you. But I'm going to push you further here. It is possible to portray this in a package. Whether you lack a powerful medium, maybe you don't know how to rap, you don't have a powerful voice, you don't have a nice microphone, you don't have a nice camera, that could be a reason for you lacking the delivery. Maybe you have a vocabulary deficiency, maybe you just can't think of the right words to use, you just can't think of the words that would be powerful enough to accommodate such a powerful message that you have. But also, there is the possibility of insecurity completely controlling your lack of delivery. Look, let me just tell you right now, everyone can do this. Everyone, all right? Anyone can do anything if you learn, you take the time, you have the patience, and you put your mind to it. You make the delivery a necessity. You say, I will not make this unless it sounds up to my standards. Ask anyone, plenty of times they've made something that just wasn't what they wanted it to be, and then they ditched it and did something else. Maybe it's because you're not old enough yet, and you know, you will find that talent does come with age. The biggest part is confidence. I may sound pretentious. I think that you're interpreting my confidence as pretentious instead. I wouldn't be sitting here pretending like I know what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here because I'm confident that I know what I'm talking about and that I can teach other people what I think I know I'm talking about. Now, some people have that delivery, but lack the message, and that's just my view of modern hip-hop. I'm not going to get into it. I feel like what I'm trying to teach you and what you hear on the radio are two separate things. I love some popular songs right now, but I don't love them because of the message that they convey, because more or less they all mean the same thing. I like it because of the way it sounds. You know, you're allowed to like that, but that's not what this is teaching you. If you want to learn how to do that, you're going to have to take like a Music 101 course. As I've been saying, both cakes can appeal to different people. But the art that I strive for, and the art that I encourage all to strive for, in every aspect of their life, whether it's writing, rapping, music, any kind of work that includes pride as an aspect of it, should be pushed through a medium I call creativity. Now, this is how we put our message into our package. How do we be creative? There's two main ideas on how to be creative. One is idea concentration. The one that we'll talk about next episode is exploiting all ideas, but the one that we'll talk about now is idea concentration. If you're making a song about cars, if the title is about cars, or if the title is about a sports team, or if the title is about a girl, you don't want to reference anything that's not that unless you're tying it back to the original idea. For example, the song Black and Yellow by Wiz Khalifa clearly should be about the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Pittsburgh anything, because all of Pittsburgh sports teams are black and yellow, so just simplified Pittsburgh. The guy doesn't mention the city once, or anything about the city, or what you can do in the city, or who you can meet in the city, or what kind of sports there are in the city, or what the city makes him feel like. It's all about the same three things: money, women, cars. Now, you can tie it all in. You can make a song about money, women, and cars. But how many times are we going to hear the same thing? When are you going to be unique? So by concentrating your idea, we find a way to make it unique. Now, what was your idea in the very beginning? What's the first thing that you thought of to make a song about? If it was cats, I don't want to hear anything about dogs. Unless you're comparing cats to dogs, you shouldn't say woof in a song about cats. Take the main idea, narrow it down, and pick up any residue on the way that is relevant. Relevant residue. Now, the song that I referenced earlier today that we're going to be making is about cars. we're going to be comparing how driving a car and writing a song can be similar. I'm not going to be using all of the ideas that I possibly can because I want to leave it up to you to decide what some of the parallels are, but I just made a short song giving some examples of how you can compare driving to writing a song, and also how to incorporate the physical aspects of a car into your song. If we're making a song about a car, alright, what are the 5 first terms you think of when you think of a car? Motor, engine, hood, trunk, and wheels. Okay, so let's just take 2 of them. Let's go with engine and wheels. Okay, so we know that an engine makes the car move and the wheel allows you to steer and basically decide where you want to go. We'll use that as a metaphor, okay? I'm gonna let you hear the song right now and then we'll come back and we'll see what we did with it. Alright, I'm gonna teach you how to ride a car and write a song at the same time. Alright, here we go. Yo. To write a song about cars, we have to learn what they are. They're automobiles manufactured with numerous parts. And if you want to link your vehicle and girls to your heart, you gotta race from the start and pull your language apart. See, this is an automobile. It lets me automatically be mobile. Oh. Now its total cost wasn't a total loss, but high enough in price for me to be a hopeless cause. But if I had a dope car, I'd be a legend. Even be better for revving that engine and getting my friends in a jealous depression. But if they want a free ride, I'll make them my henchmen. Now, we don't need to reinvent the wheel, cause I got one right here and I use it to steer. It's called meter. It lets me know when I'm at the limit that the po won't let me go past. If I go too fast and forget where I'm going, not only am I lost, but it's terrible flowing. And if you drive past the line where you should stop and wait, you can't just drive backwards, you're already in the block. Oh, wait. See, you gotta be vigilant. Driving is a privilege, don't think that rapping isn't. Under normal conditions, you can't just do tricks in your vehicle, but rapping is a bit different. Through English, you bring 2 different things and use that language to link them with strings. Don't tint your windows, don't rent a limo. Don't think you can rap cause you're a pimp with bimbos. Now you've got cars to bring a girl in the door. You reference the latter, but make sure you mention the former. You like her? Look, you got an open seat for her. If her booty's hot, then you've got the seat warmers. Mention it, reference it, better it. Benjamin. No, see, nothing's worse than irrelevant rhetoric. It's about cars. Don't be afraid and hide it. Let the world know you're creative. Write it. So you can see that in that song, a lot of it was explanatory in teaching people how to write a song. It was very straightforward, but if you didn't understand some parts, I'm going to run through them right now. Automobile is a word associated with vehicles, cars. If you take the words apart, auto and mobile, you can find different meanings for them. Auto means it does itself, and mobile means that, or mobile means that it's on the go. So if you have an automobile, you can automatically, without any prior steps to it, basically granting you easy access, you can be mobile, or you can move around in the car freely, should I say in the automobile, automatically mobile. This was just a very blatant and clear example of how you can separate words and find new meanings for them. At one point in the song, I touched on an issue that many people have with meter. And this is where we'll get into the third part of the episode, meter and other basic terms associated in simple rapping. You have 2 lines. You want to group your lines in 4 because you always want a song to end after a multiple of 4 bars or quartets, or however you want to call them. Have a beat basically has 4 parts in it before it repeats itself, and you want to get to the end of those 4 parts before leaving any awkward silence for the beat at the end of it. The first line is called the layup, and the second line is called the dunk. We want to give a layup to our main idea line. We don't want to give the punchline first and then give the reason why we used it. We want to, again, because you don't dunk something and then give it to someone else to have them throw it up and then not dunk it again. If you're going to dunk it again, then you can do that. But what I'm saying is you need to have a preface to what you're going to say. And that's a good way to fill those lines that you have in a song without using filler material. Now, at one point, I did an example of people missing the hitbox of the line. If you're familiar with the term hitbox in video games, you know that it's where 2 characters or 2 objects connect and basically force a reaction between the 2. Basically, a hitbox is a part of the character where if it connects with the enemy's hurtbox, the reaction of dealing damage occurs. Your rhyming will be placed in a hitbox. For example, we said, even be better for revving that engine and getting my friends in a jealous depression, but if they want a free ride, I'll make them my henchmen. You see that the stressed and unstressed syllables match up, creating hitboxes for our rhymes. better, for revving, that engine. You see that there's a cooldown in between every single rhyme. And in between those rhymes, it's not so necessary that you have a cooldown that rhymes. So it gives you a lot more opportunity to pick words that have similar rhyming syllables, but may not exactly rhyme. For example, engine and jealous do not perfectly rhyme, but with the way that I utilize the hitboxes and the cooldowns, you wouldn't have even realized it. Engine and jealous, and basically, you're almost not even saying that second line. You're just sneaking it under the rug, making room for the next hitbox. Another way to stay creative and not be stale is by letting your content pioneer your rhymes instead of letting your rhyming pioneer your content. What I mean is that I notice in a lot of scenarios where people write and they are prided over their rhyming, but when you try to pull the ideas apart, they're very separated and not blended. They're more tangible and can be taken apart, and they don't link well with the ideas before and after it. Basically, their inclusion is only due to the fact that they rhyme instead of being part of the idea that you're trying to convey. What I mean is that rhyming is always the best way to be creative and use different words to convey different things. But you want to put the content first. You don't want to just look in a rhyme book and say, these are the rhymes that I'm going to use. I'm going to list them all and fit them in like a big puzzle piece of words that don't mean anything to one another. You're going to have the idea and you're going to say, I want to say this. Now, this thing that I want to say clearly does not rhyme with what I want it to rhyme with, but I'm going to find a way to say it that will rhyme with what I want it to rhyme with. And that is what sets you apart from somebody who says, I have something that sounds like this. I'm going to make the next line whatever I want it to be and just include a word in it or at the end of it that rhymes with the word from the last line. Loosely attached rhyming and idea structure are on polar opposites of the spectrum. But if you can find a way to pull the rhyming aspect out of the loose rhyming and the subject formation out of the other side of the spectrum and bring them together, you have uniqueness. It's called creativity. You are creating something out of what the norm is and changing it. Now, this does not mean that every single line has to sound like this and have a static iambic pentameter. Bart Baker, I'll get to you soon enough, don't you worry. For example, in this line we say, through English you bring two different things. So we hold out certain parts of the line to take the place of that syllable that would be the unstressed syllable so that we can stress the proper stressed syllables of the next word. We don't want to stress parts of the word that shouldn't be normally stressed under the way that they are pronounced in English. Or we say, don't tint your windows. Through English, you bring two different things. See, I can't even do what Bart Baker does because I can't even wrap my head around how you even get so many syllables pronounced incorrectly. I just can't do it. I literally don't have it in me. It could only be manufactured by a mistake. I can only teach you how to not do it. I'm gonna make a whole new video about this, so just, you know how to pronounce words in English, don't pronounce them the way that they wouldn't be pronounced normally. So in the line where I said, and if you drive past the line where you stop and wait, you can't just drive backwards if you're already in the block. Oh, wait. So you see that where the word the is in the place of the hitbox of the punchline. We put too many words before the words that rhyme. Stop and wait rhymes with block, oh wait. Obviously, like, wait is the same word. This whole line is an example of what not to do. If you were to say that, you would say, if you drive past the line where you stop and wait, you can't drive backwards, you're in the block of wait. I purposely put too many words before the hitbox of the line. Obviously then emphasizing the wrong rhyming word. In this song, I provided a correct example of how you should use women in comparison to cars, and then I also used an example of how you shouldn't use money in comparison to a song about cars. I literally just said it outright. Look, you like this girl. Look, you have an open seat in the car for her. If the reason that you like her is because she has a nice bottom, okay, you think that her booty is hot. So you use wordplay. What does a car and a hot butt have in common? Literally say it. What does a car and a hot butt have in common? How can a car make a butt hot? Where does a butt go in a car on a seat? Is there any way that a seat could possibly be made hot inadvertently, assuming that her butt would be not only literally hot from the warmth of the object that she's sitting on, but also very attractive seat warmers. There you go. Instead of just saying, that girl has a nice booty and she's sitting in my car, we say, that girl's booty is hot, and it is literally hot because she's sitting on my seat that has seat warmers in my vehicle. You see that we have girl and we have car, and instead of just tossing them both up into the song, we tie them together in a nice little package and send our message into the audience. How do we not reference money? Just yelling the word Benjamin. Benjamin! No, see, nothing's worse than irrelevant rhetoric. I'm referring to $100 bills. Nothing's worse than irrelevant rhetoric. And that means that if you have words, phrases, ideas that don't fit in with the message that you're trying to convey and you can't possibly tie them together, or you think that they're tied together and you don't actually tie them, you just kind of put the strings on top of each other and then they can be easily pulled apart. You want to make sure that they're tied in a way that if you pull, you can't get them apart. It's a cake that you cannot unbake. You can't take a physical egg out of a cake. You've heard that a million times. You want to bake it all in. But what is the it that we're baking? Where are we getting our ingredients from? Some of them may be in your head, but some of them may be in other places and you might not just know where to look for them. So this is a quick overview for this episode. We learned how to put a message into a package. We have the main idea. We want to convey that main idea through correct syllable structure, intricate rhyming, and just clever wordplay. But how do we get to that point where we're thinking differently, where we're thinking of that clever wordplay, we're thinking of how to connect two scenarios together through a common ground? How do we blend all of our ingredients into one inseparable piece called a cake? How do we do that? Well, the first step is exploiting all of our ideas through what I call a link tree. What's the link tree? Find out next episode on Chisel This.